I first want to talk about how I can use videos in the classroom now. So in this class, I learned how to create a curriculum video that I can use with my students, and I decided to create a video about the 3 states of matter because that's something that we discuss in science. And I learned how to use Canva in a more effective way. I've never tried to create a video before, so that was really fun. I think the role of teacher-created videos in the classroom is pretty broad, but I think it's important to incorporate videos that you make yourself because your students know you the best. And so if you create the videos, it'll probably be more meaningful to your students. And last but not least, I see myself using screencasts in the future, particularly more towards the beginning of the school year, kind of showing parents how to use our platform and what kind of apps the kids can use online at home that we also use at school. I think it would be a really good tool also for reteaching purposes. If there's a skill that kids are really struggling with, I can create a screencast going over some different strategies, and then I can send it out to parents and families and have them practice it at home or even practice at school. So I'm excited to continue using videos in my classroom. Next, I want to talk about podcasting in the classroom. My impression of the podcasts available on iTunes is okay. I would say they have a few helpful ones. Like I found a really nice one about mindfulness and helping kids practice just their overall well-being, which is something that I could use in my classroom. But also online, I was able to find a couple that I really enjoyed from brainson.org and But Why. Both of those podcasts were really cool, and I think the kids would really enjoy them, especially for the age group that I teach. They seemed really appropriate for their age. And I plan to use podcasts in my classroom as an additional resource when we're learning about new things. For example, on the But Why podcast, it has a lot of questioning, and we talk about that a lot in math and science. Just continue questioning. But why? Why did you do that? Why do you think that? Why is it that way? So I think that would be really fun to use those kinds of podcasts during those kinds of activities. So I look forward to trying to incorporate them into my classroom here soon. Last but not least, I want to talk to you about blended learning. So in this class, I learned about the blended learning model. It combines face-to-face learning with online learning as well. So it promotes a more personalized and effective educational experience for the students, and it can be done in many different ways. There are some different models that teachers use. They do it in a station rotation model. They might do it as a whole group rotation or even a flipped classroom. And some of the key concepts that I really liked about blended learning was that it's flexible and it's catered to very diverse needs. It integrates technology and fosters collaboration between learners, and it keeps the students engaged with their learning, and it enhances their learning experiences by being able to apply what they've learned face-to-face online. So I think it's really cool that they can have this customized learning experience. And going along with that, it impacts learning because kids are able to have much more choice and autonomy. So you might teach a lesson to them face to face and then, send them back to their seats or to a station and have them work on some sort of activity online where they're going to practice the same skill that you just got done discussing as a whole group. And I think that's really important because kids can decide, okay, well, I feel like I'm ready to move on and try something by myself, or they can continue learning with the teacher face to face. So that is fun for kids to be able to make that decision and, decide that for themselves. And then last but not least, I will use blended learning in my classroom in many different ways, but I think the most I use blended learning is during math. So I'll do a quick lesson at the carpet with kids going over a new concept or skill that we're learning that day. Like for example, right now we're working on place value. I will model a couple of different, examples showing kids different strategies, drawing pictures, using manipulatives. We will practice a little bit, and then I will send the kids back to their seats to do an online module through IXL where they can practice the same skills, but then they can go at their own pace. They can watch tutorial videos. They can, use those online tools such as manipulatives. That way it's more catered to what they need. Instead of me standing in front of the whole class and just talking at them, they're able to actually apply their knowledge and try it by themselves. I want to talk about being a connected educator. So in this class, I chose to use a Twitter account to connect with other educators and created my own PLN. I think that these networks are great because you can use resources that other teachers have already created, and you can engage with other educators by sharing your own ideas too. My key takeaways from the book is all about relationships. I really connected with that chapter. You got to build those relationships not only with your students, but also with your colleagues. I'm planning on continuing to use my PLN and see how it goes because I really enjoyed getting to use that.